In a historic and controversial move, President Donald Trump has authorized airstrikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites, igniting fears of an escalating conflict in the Middle East. This unprecedented military action aligns the U.S. with Israel against Iran since the Islamic Republic's 1979 revolution, leaving the world on edge as it awaits Iran's retaliation. Analysts warn Iran may respond by threatening to close the Strait of Hormuz, a critical maritime corridor through which approximately 20% of the world's oil supply, around 20 million barrels, flows daily. Such a blockade would disrupt global trade and significantly impact oil prices, sending shockwaves throughout the global economy. The Strait of Hormuz, situated between Oman and Iran, is just 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point, with the shipping lane only 3 kilometers wide. Experts note that this vital waterway is essential for oil transportation, especially for members of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, including Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. If Iran proceeds with its threat to close the strait, it may trigger an immediate spike in oil prices, prompting inflation across the U.S. and beyond. However, this drastic action could also lead to significant economic repercussions for Iran itself, as it relies on the same route for its oil exports, predominantly to China. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has urged China to intervene.
Well, I encourage the Chinese government in Beijing to call them about that because they heavily depend on the Straits of Hormuz for their oil. If they do that, it'll be another terrible mistake. It's economic suicide for them if they do it.
Reports indicate that some supertankers have already altered their course in reaction to recent U.S. military operations. The U.S. Secretary of State outlined various options to counter Iran's actions to close the Strait of Hormuz. Senator Rubio warned that this could severely impact global economies and would prompt a response from the U.S. and allies. The U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain safeguards maritime trade in the Persian Gulf. And while many expect a quick Navy response to any Iranian blockade, analysts like Bob McNally caution that the market may overlook the risks of prolonged shipping disruptions through Hormuz. Iranian officials have begun signaling a potential response.
The Islamic Republic of Iran continue to defend Iran's territory, sovereignty, security, and people by all means necessary.
As the situation unfolds, all eyes are on Iran's leadership to determine the next course of action, particularly following statements from Iran's supreme leader denouncing U.S. and Israeli aggression. The world watches closely as tensions mount in this crucial region, with the potential for severe economic and